for good music, art, culture, comedy, and local events. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Watson here on Take It to the Max.
This half hour, my good friend Matt Robinson.
Good to see you, Matt Watson.
Yeah, it from
The
Keep,
double Matts.
Yeah, a Facebook post where we had, we had 56,000 people
Wow.
looked at all that, opened it up and looked at
That's
the
incredible.
like 15 pictures. Now we didn't get 36,000 people out
No.
putting work gloves
I was out there
on.
with you.
And hell yeah, you were out there. You were
Yes.
in that very post, and you were always there when we cleaned up under I-12 over Sherwood Forest Boulevard, when we cleaned up I-12 over O'Neill, when we cleaned up I-12 over Cedar Crest.
That was an exciting one.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the story.
Well, we were cleaning.
Middle of
as
the
Matt-
day,
yeah,
beautiful,
middle of the day.
beautiful
I
sky,
think it was
kids and
Saturday,
everybody else.
Sunday?
It was,
Maybe, I'm not
a
sure.
weekend day.
Yeah, and there was a lot of vegetation. Is also an enemy with litter and blight. And so I had been up on the incline trimming a lot of the weeds back, and I was underneath the actual
Now
interstate.
let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. When you say underneath, I mean like, you know when the slanted 45-degree angle thing comes from the road beneath and slides up to the underside of the overpass? He's right up there, right at the edge of the concrete where it turns from concrete to grass. Okay, I
Yes.
want people to understand the proximity you are to what you're about to say.
If you're claustrophobic, you don't want to be under there. But,
Yeah.
I had headphones on, I believe, and then I turned around.
You
and
couldn't
I
hear
looked.
anywhere with that
No,
blower.
exactly. And I turned around and looked, and there was a car that came flying off I-12 eastbound.
This gentleman
Yes.
had a blowout on one of his tires in the middle of the day, jumped off of I-12 and landed down on its upside down on the side of the road on Cedar Crest below, right where
We were at.
the vehicle would have landed on him
Thank goodness.
earlier. Check your tires for wear,
Please.
because the tires on this vehicle, the one that blew was probably, from the firefighter's perspective, was the best tire of the four on the vehicle,
Yeah. I
and
didn't
that's
hear
what
that part.
caused him to leap. And we're talking like
See it, but
5
I mean-
feet from you.
I
Your
know.
back was to it, and you
Yeah.
didn't hear it because of the blower and your
Exactly.
headphones on.
Exactly.
But anyway,
All right.
you were at every one of those cleanups. We got more and more people that kept showing up. We had Sheffy Construction when we had all that dirt to clean up underneath.
That was
on
amazing.
Sherwood
I think
Forest.
it was, you got a Bobcat out there.
Yeah,
didn't you?
Sheffy
Okay.
Construction brought a Bobcat and a crew of people to operate and everything. Robert Sheffy's an awesome guy. Every Lou that was operating the Bobcat, great people, great people.
That's kind of a sad though story because of the fact that you needed a Bobcat to clear off what would be a pedestrian area
Well-
that had been allowed to overgrow so badly.
If you're familiar with Sherwood Forest going underneath I-12, I'd had people say, we need to have a sidewalk, so we can go underneath there.
Is there a
Well,
sidewalk
when
over
we
there?
brought the Bobcat and scraped the dirt off, there was an 8-foot wide sidewalk that was covered with 6 inches of dirt and grass.
That is a sad state of affairs.
But that was just dirt and
Yes.
grass. But all the water and everything, and we had
Sure.
people honking, thank you, all that kind of stuff. It was wonderful.
That's sweat equity, If everybody does their part, we could really clean things up. Make it look a
Now,
lot better.
so you are a board member
I am.
with Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful. How long has Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful been around? Doing just like the things like we're talking about. That's their commitment.
Sure, Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful. It's been around before my time. I moved away from Baton Rouge in about '95 and came back in 2009 and got involved with Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful around 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's been around probably for at least 20, 25
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
We are the principal litter advocacy cleanup organization. We're an affiliate of Keep Louisiana Beautiful, an affiliate of Keep USA or America Beautiful. We've kind of shrunk in size a little bit. We've had some people that have left the board lately. There is me and another lady named Gwen Emick who's very
Oh,
heavily
yeah, okay.
involved.
Yeah, she's very committed to this.
We have an amazing trailer of equipment and supplies that will be available to any person who really wants to clean up an area. We can bring the trailer out.
And you have, just to that point, I had been doing, like, not a full neighborhood cleanup, but on Mississippi Street, Miss LaWanda, wonderful, wonderful lady, she had called because across the street there was a gigantic pile of stuff. And I'll tell you, the reason why there was a gigantic pile of stuff there is because when you have a neighborhood and they have a lot of debris and they don't have space in front of their house because of the small property line that they have in the front, they're either going to pile it on the sidewalk and block the sidewalk, or it's going to go in the road. So they, as a neighborhood, took all of their stuff and put it in front of a house that was not occupied. Well, of course, the rules of this municipality are Republic Waste is not going to pick up garbage in front of a house that's not paying a water bill because they're not paying the garbage bill. Even though it's everybody on the street's garbage, they all put it in all put it in one spot, so it's even more efficient for the guy. And not to say anything bad about Republic, because when I called Sharon Mann, they sent somebody out and they had a guy pull right up and pull. It was chairs and tables and old children's bicycles that were so rusted shut, front yard bikes couldn't even fix them. I mean, you couldn't even turn the handlebars, let alone turn the pedals on. But that same neighborhood, the next weekend, you and a bunch of kids, and who else?
Well, we had wanted to clean up Valley Park for a while. And so we were able to partner with Kim Denson is a teacher at Baton Rouge.
And a singer.
I know. She's also, right. She's a friend of mine, and she is the daughter of one of my fellow Kiwanis Club members.
Okay.
And so she is the faculty sponsor for the Key Club at Baton Rouge.
Okay. So you had a bunch
of
Key Club.
Massive. Yeah.
Yep.
Part of their mission is to do service hours. So these are really hard-hitting kids who really want to work hard. So one Saturday for about 3 or 4 hours, we were out there and saw you, of course.
Yep.
And made a pretty good dent. And met a lady in that neighborhood who's very interested in pursuing further cleanups.
Fired up. She was fired up, if I remember.
Eileen Rockett
Yeah.
was her name. And she was fired up. And the kids did a great job. There was a lot of blight still there. There's still, trash and things like that. But I think we made a pretty good, dent.
You did. And you had the ingenuity of the kids to go out and say, we got all these damn grocery carts. Let's fill the grocery carts with garbage, and we didn't even need any wheelbarrows because people dumped all these things that we could carry stuff in. And just so everybody knows, in Valley Park, when the kids needed something to eat, we went over to Owens, and they were closed because of COVID for people coming inside. But we went over there and picked up food on the outside. So supporting small business, cleaning up a neighborhood, Key Club kids getting the service hours and everything in, and everybody feels great at the end of the day.
Everybody felt great at the end of the day. Felt like they really accomplished something.
Yeah.
The cleanups are harder in the summertime because of the heat and so forth.
Yeah.
But I think that was maybe closer to a fall type cleanup. But we have an event coming up.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, sure. It's an annual international event all across the world where people clean up near waterways. Of course, that's a huge issue around here. It's going to be September the 18th, and we're going to meet at the Breck May Street Park.
Okay.
You know exactly where I'm talking
Street
about. The
Park.
street that goes in between City Lake and of course everybody knows that the Big Lakes project is starting soon.
Yep.
However, there's still a pretty decent amount of litter that we can pick up, beautify, get it ready for some of the heavy, more duty dredging and things like that. Yeah. Before that, though, we also have another thing coming up. It's July 24th.
Okay.
And it will be in the Burbank Gardier neighborhood.
Okay.
So it'll be on our Facebook page.
So tell everybody, this is going to be on the YouTube, so subscribe to the YouTube. You'll always get all this kind of stuff, but tell them now so they can write it in their book if they're, sweating, thinking, God, I'll never remember this. Say it so everybody can write it down.
It's all you basically do is just go to Facebook and search for Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful, and you'll
And
find
it'll
our
pop up
page.
real easy.
And it'll populate really easily, and we'll have details on there. That's a cleanup, and also there's going to be some of the advocacy or the educational portion of
Yeah.
teaching children not to litter.
Yeah.
Because we could have every person in Baton Rouge pick up trash one weekend.
Yeah.
But in
It'll
a
be
week or
back
so,
the next
it'll be
week.
back. Exactly. So we've got to get to a point to where the public is educated well enough on not littering. And
Well, yeah. What I found is when I was a kid growing up, you had Woodsy the Owl telling kids, give a hoot, don't pollute, and the kids put pressure on your parents to not throw anything out of the car, not set a cup down when they got out to go walk into the mall or something like that.
that's a great point. I mean, I see a lot of times passive littering with truck beds. You know, maybe
Oh, yeah.
somebody's not really intending to litter.
Terry Bradshaw had an ad that played. And I watched this when I was living in. Too many references to Michigan in this episode, but
That was
when I
in your
was-
Michigan
I'm in
days, you
East
saw that.
Lansing, Michigan, and on
Okay.
TV, here comes Terry Bradshaw getting out of the truck, and he's like, "Don't throw your garbage in the bed of the truck; it's gonna blow out."
Yeah, I mean, it's like a Mardi Gras parade with those
Yeah.
trucks with just trash flying everywhere. But there's an 800 number. I don't have it in front of me, but you can look it up on the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries.
Yeah.
Don't want to be like a snitch necessarily, but you can call this number if you see someone littering. And they
Yeah.
do get a letter.
Well,
There's
I'll tell
really
you-
no teeth to it per se,
Yeah.
but they do get a.
But they're being scolded and shamed a little bit.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing that is they're small, but in large groups, it's cigarette butts.
Whew.
Now, let me tell you this.
I probably picked up a million.
Yeah,
over the years.
when we were, ladies and gentlemen, when we were out cleaning up I-12 over O'Neill, the grass was so high because it hadn't been mowed, and it was dried out because they didn't mow it, they sprayed it. And you flick a cigarette out in that, you're going to start a brush fire.
It's very possible.
So it's not, it's possibly starting a fire and littering at the same time. So, man, I know a lot of cars don't come with ashtrays in them anymore, but don't smoke till you get to your destination.
Yeah, don't smoke in your car. You know, you want your car to smell fresh and nice.
You wanted to talk about, well, before we do that, let's talk about another tin roof beer,
Now, this is the best part of the show.
Blonde. Did they win any awards for this one, Chuck?
Not that I know of.
I love how he paused, pulled the microphone over. Not that
He
I
had to think about it for a second. He was pretty impressive
Okay.
with his knowledge in the voodoo.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I did work for Tin Roof for a couple of years, and I've been a fan since day one.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. So, ladies and gentlemen, Capital Grocery on the corner of 7th and Spanish Town Road, the big red grocery store. Go see Ann and Alden. And they've got all different kinds of beer in there, but better yet, if the beer is not enough, let's go ahead and crack these. I know you're chomping at the bit.
Oh, yeah. Got a little foam going there. Cheers.
Absolutely. Yeah, cheers for cleaning up everything. They make great food, breakfast and lunch. You can eat inside, you can eat outside, you can take it back to work. If you work downtown, it's a convenient walk. It's like 3 blocks from the Capitol.
Love that
It's like
place.
lobbyists out there. Take people to Spanish Town Grocery so you can have a quiet conversation and tell them the truth from your point of view. Tin Roof Blonde at Capital Grocery. Cheers again. Thanks, Ann.
Local
Thanks,
brewery.
Alden.
Love it. And Capital Grocery.
Yeah, Tin Roof's right here.
Now, Matt, there's been a little bit of a grassroots movement.
Keeping Tiger Town beautiful.
Correct. I promised my friend Jennifer
Jennifer
Richardson I would
yep.
talk about her a little bit. She is the very definition of grassroots. She just decided that she didn't like the way things looked in certain areas. Showed up on a Saturday, asked a couple people to join her.
Mhm.
They had their grabbers, their bags, clean place up.
Yeah.
You know, I think people that sometimes that are really into picking up litter, they get a real psychological satisfaction of cleaning up an area.
I'll tell you what,
Too.
if you
it's kind of a
find
disease a little
well,
bit.
I was going to say not disease might be a little too strong,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'll
that's
say
fine.
this: there's nothing better than a 40 or 50 OCD people going out to clean up litter.
Absolutely. Yes. In fact, we have been looking for There's an actual specific machine that is like a street vacuum.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of, you know, a street sweeper is, of
Sure.
course. It's not as intensive.
Those
as
of
big
you
as
who
that.
live in Baton Rouge, a street sweeper is a vehicle that should be driving around the streets with brushes underneath and a vacuum to go clean up the streets and around the curbs and everything. So
I've seen
you
them
know,
in Zachary.
Yeah, they may have some in
After a
Zachary.
parade.
You may have seen some in Baton Rouge, but they're one of those rare animals. You know, like I don't know, spotted owl or something like that. you
Like
know?
Bigfoot.
Yes, that's probably even more so.
Yeah.
Loch Ness Monster. There are rumors they exist. Someone has a picture, but they think they faked it.
Sasquatch.
So Jennifer Richardson's got a bunch of folks out, and I'll
She
tell you what,
does.
for the most part, from the photographs that I see, there's some gentlemen involved, but this is primarily a women-driven organization,
Yes.
and they get out there and they show everybody how it's done.
They get down and dirty.
Yeah.
At first, they were doing just basic cleanups. With
I think
grabbers and-
one of the earlier ones was Essen dead ending at Jefferson
Correct.
Highway.
Essen, Jefferson. Tomorrow they're going to be 8 a.m. They're going to try to work around Seagan, and I guess I want to call it Dawson's Creek, but it's because that old show. But it's Ward's Creek.
Ward's
Right
Creek.
there.
Ward's
They're
Creek and
gonna
Dawson's
park-
Creek do go together.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought we had a Dawson's Creek
We
as
do.
well.
We
They're
do.
going to park at Lowe's, and they're going to work around that area. One of the things they've worked on for a couple of weekends in a row, and even a Sunday, was a area off of Airline by Cedar Crest,
Yeah.
by the public storage or life storage, whatever it's called.
Yep.
There's a canal that runs back there, and I didn't get to participate in any of that, but the pictures were amazing
Yeah.
of some of the things that they took out of that canal. They had a actual Regions Bank sign that was about as big, you know, as this
Yeah,
area right
yeah.
here, that had been just wedged in this canal for God knows how long.
Wow.
You know, and that affects drainage and flooding.
Well, look, I've talked to Marie Constantine. She's got a lot of, she and a crew of people go out and pick up stuff, and her big deal is litter that's carried by rainwater away off of parking lots and whatnot, and like the water's supposed to go into the drainage canals, it
Correct.
takes the floatable litter with it. And it's gone over to, I believe that, you know, when I spoke about this, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, I think it's behind Ollie Steel, there's an LSU property back there
Yes,
where water
that
pours
is where it
in,
is. Yep.
and it looks, when you see Marie's pictures,
It's stunning.
it looks like the floating plastic island in the middle of the Pacific, but it's right there on
Yes.
Essen, you know, by between 10 and 12. One of the things I spoke with Marie about is passive things that solve the problem, like you could take a mesh cargo net,
I love this
could
idea.
put it along the exit of a pipe, so you've got water carrying all this garbage, and it comes out of a pipe and going into a bayou. Anyone who sees where Stanford goes over the bayou right there, if you're sneaking around the back way to go to an LSU game right past the Baton Rouge beach, down there's like a gas pipe that'll stop a whole bunch of litter. If you could find where that litter's coming from and find a pipe that emits the water that's carrying that stuff and put a net that would catch all that, the water can still flow through, but the litter's captured, and you send a DPW truck out to go pull that bag full or that mesh net full of litter and put another net back on, and you take that stuff up to the landfill.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, you just, anywhere you walk around town where you have the creeks, Wards, Dawson, whatever, you'll see,
Yeah.
you know, large culverts
Sure.
that are draining.
Yeah, because they
In
want to
there.
take
and there's
stuff out
water
of
kind of
Yep.
coming in there all
Yep.
the time.
Yep.
I mean, right near College and Foster, I think Wards runs through there.
Yeah.
And so there's a massive culvert that drains water from the golf course, all
Yeah.
those areas around College.
And in a lot of, look, I'll say it's normally I don't talk politics in this, but in a lot of ways, you've got different council districts normally follow like a street, but some of them, like between 11 and District 7, I believe, it follows College, and then it goes along, no, that becomes 12, follows along Wards Creek.
Okay.
And if you got council people talking to each other, it'd be 2 council people going to clean that up instead of the other one saying, "Oh, it's not my problem; it's the other person."
A little bit of competition, right?
Well, if competition breeds excellence, then let's go ahead and do
is
that.
for sure.
Or if cooperation gets 2 times the workers out there to get it done, whichever treats our community better is the way we're going to want to do that. Well, geez, we got 2 minutes left. How people go on Facebook and they look up Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful.
They can look up Keep Tigertown Beautiful.
Keep Tigertown Beautiful. It's Jennifer Richardson's spot, and I'll tell you what, she posts stuff. She's got to clean up every Saturday morning.
She is amazing as far as what her group has been doing on a consistent basis.
And you said that Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful has a trailer full of wonderful stuff to work with. If people want to use that stuff, what sort of groups? If it's a large group of people that say, "Hey, we're going to go clean that up," do you have to have Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful people go be part of that? You don't want to just let somebody come pick up your trailer you never see it again.
Yeah. That, as far as coming to get it and picking it up, we would handle all the logistics of that.
Sure. Yeah.
It'd be a situation where they would say, "Hey, we want to clean up this area. We don't have any bags or grabbers." We would find a way to get the materials to them. I mean, that's what our mission is to be able to support. Because it really
if
takes.
somebody's got the will, you want to give them the tools.
If they have a desire to clean up an area, we will get them
Cheers
what they
to
need
them,
to
that's
get
for
it
sure.
done. Maybe not a bobcat.
And cheers to you
But yes.
for working
Thank
with
you
that.
very
Tell
much.
Gwen that I said hello and
I
thank
certainly
you
will.
very much.
You've been a
for
great
everything that
supporter
she
of
does.
ours, Matt. We appreciate it.
Y'all, I love seeing somebody else who's doing it like Jennifer Richardson or Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful. And then when we can put groups together, it's freaking awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard Matt Robinson with Keep Baton Rouge Beautiful. Go to Take It to the Mat on YouTube and subscribe. There's a lot of tremendous content there, and it's a lot of great music, a lot of extended interviews. God bless. Y'all take care. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Matt always appreciates when you tune in. Be sure to subscribe to the Take It to the Mat channel on YouTube and hit like while you're at